As teachers, when we retire, we typically will get a monthly pension equal to a certain percent times the number of years you work. Why not look for other opportunities to gain that additional monthly income? And that's what we're going to see on our show today. In this video, I would like to discuss dividend growth investing. This is a company called Realty Income. They're a REIT, which is a real estate investment trust, and they invest in real estate. They lease out their buildings and get dividends coming in that go back to their shareholders. If you look at the dividend growth history of this company, you notice in 1995 we started really low, about 7.5 cents per share that you own, but then it's just steadily increased for the last 25 years. It's actually been longer than this, where currently it's paying at 22.6 cents a share. You notice that they also are paying every month. Here is March 28th. This was February 27th, January 30th, and so on. So they're a monthly dividend producing company. As long as you own the shares of the company, you will be receiving these dividends. Okay. Typically, I'm going to be reinvesting dividends back into more shares of the company to grow the dividends. So for this particular company, not only are the dividends per share growing, but you're buying more shares. So you'll get compound interest in that regard. This is a company called QILD. It's actually an ETF. Let me talk about it later. SPHD. This is another dividend ETF where they take the 500 biggest companies in the country in the S&P 500. They find the 50 with the lowest volatility and also the highest yield. And you'll also notice that they do pay monthly as well. And they are growing. Okay. Most of my portfolio is in small cap value companies. Those are smaller companies that have grown. They're also not necessarily trying to grow in terms of market share, but they do pay out pretty steady dividends. In this case, the fee is only 0.15% to own it. There's a new ETF that just came out. This is called RYLD. This is the covered call ETF. In this ETF, they're going to buy very similar companies. It's actually 2,000 companies instead of 600. And then they're going to do a covered call where they actually sell options and actually get an increasing income. QILD is another ETF very similar to the one I just talked about. Notice that the dividend yield 10.7%, and they also pay monthly. This one takes 100 of the biggest tech companies. The one that I'm going to invest in is this one. This is 2,000 of the smallest small cap companies. One of the big issues with it is the net expense ratio is pretty high at 0.6%, but it will pay monthly, just like my SPHD, which pays monthly. And the goal is to constantly be growing those dividends every month. So if I have a chart of dividends versus time, as of right now, dividends are not very high, but I'm reinvesting those into more shares of the company. I'm also putting in regular contributions into these companies as well. So over time, you should see a steady increase in these monthly dividends. Some of my other ETFs will pay every 3 months, but I'm deciding to go every month in order to hopefully increase my just thoughts of putting in money every month. So if I have a little bit of extra money and I don't have enough to buy an extra share, I'll put in extra $20 or so to buy the next share of the company and just keep it growing.